1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Out there in Guitar Land, Mike Heading here, coming to you today with the old classic traditional tune, Shady Grove. We're going to do this in the key of E minor. I've got my capo on the 2nd fret. We're thinking in the key of D minor. This is a great song. It's obviously been done by a ton of people. There's a great Jerry Garcia, David Grisman version that I've heard. Tony Rice, obviously Peter Rowan did a really good version of this. It's been done by a ton of people. It's a great tune. It's a great kind of minor tune. And we're going to work on 2 solos. One that kind of stays down the neck, playing out of these chord positions down here. And then we're going to do one that works up into the higher D minor shape and gives you another place to play the solo. A very fun way to play. Again, I would kind of rate this of intermediate level lesson, advanced beginner. I think you could get this one with some practice. There's a couple little tricky parts, but overall, it's pretty straightforward if you get the positions down. And then lastly, I'll show you how to play the backup. The chords are pretty easy and the form is pretty short, but we'll go over some bass walks, kind of some alternate chord positions you can do, kind of some fun stuff you can do on the backup as well. All right, let's break down Shady Grove in the key of E minor. Let's jump into it. All right, let's start breaking down this first half of the first solo to Shady Grove. Remember, we've got our capo on the 2nd fret. We're going to be sounding the key of E minor, but thinking in the key of D minor. So let's break down the first 9 measures. That's halfway through the first solo. Here we go. A few times. I'll do it really slow. And one more time, a little faster. Okay, so we're going to be starting in this D minor shape here, and we're going to use, again, I like to think of the playing out of a chord shape, very bluegrass way to think about a solo. So again, I'm kind of thinking in this shape, my D minor, remember it's really an E minor, but we're thinking in D minor, which frees up my 3rd fret, or 3rd finger rather, my ring finger, to play those 3rd frets on the 5th string and 4th string. You can kind of hear how that sounds. Then you can go back to the open 4th string, which is a D, right? You can even just play around with that with little fills. Yeah, I'm really just moving my 3rd finger back and forth and just either doing hammer-ons, pull-offs, or little picking. So you can just play around with that. It might just for like little backup licks, but that's the shape we're going to be thinking out of. So we're going to start with our pickup in measure 1. We're going to be on the beat 4. We're going to go 4 and down, up with our pick. And we're going to play open on the 5th string, and then 3rd fret. And then up to that open D string, 4th string. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 is how you count it, right? Try it with hammer-ons. If you do it with a hammer-on, take out the upstroke with your pick, and then try it with picking. A lot of these little licks in this song could be substituted for hammer-ons, or you could play it with picking, and we'll talk about that, but that's just a good way to practice. Try it that way or this way. Right? And then we do a 3-5 slide, so you're going to kind of get out of position real quick, slide up 3 to 5 on that 5th string, where that note is the same as your open 4 string if you're in tune, and then go back to the open 4 string, and then play open 2 on the 4 string. Open, and then 2nd fret. So you have, that's measure 2. Really just the melody is kind of that open 4 string. We're just filling it up with that slide. And then we go open D string, and then with an upstroke, 3rd fret on the 5th string, we're essentially going into the C chord. So we're going from this D minor to a C. So we basically slide up. You can even put down your full C even though it doesn't really show it in the tab. That'll kind of help with the overtones. So we have from measure 1. And then we land on that 3rd fret twice more. And then play open 3 again, which is essentially the pickup we just did. So we have, let's do 2 and 3 together. We have, and that's the Peaches in the Summertime part of the song, right? Our next phrase is the apples in the fall, I think are the lyrics. Open D string, 3/5 slide from the 5th string, and then open 3 on the D, and then open 3rd string, excuse me. So we're kind of walking up. We're going to get up to this 2nd fret here, which is again in our D minor chord. So we're just doing like a little scale run. And then right here we're just going to embellish it a little bit by doing a 1-2 hammer on. Very like Tony Rice, you could slide it, but I'm hammering on in this case. And then play, so I did 2nd fret on the 3rd string, bounce off the open 4 string with an upstroke, and then back to the 2nd fret. Just filling that up, so we have, get some good tone out of that hammer on. And then use that open 3rd string in measure, what is that, 4. Right here, you kind of move your hand back to get ready for that hammer on. And then open 2 hammer on that 3rd string, so that finger's down, just now take it off and do a hammer on. And then bar the first 2 strings at the 1st fret, so it's like an F chord, right? Your F right here. And we're just going to leave our 3rd finger off and just bar. And then back to that 2nd fret. So you kind of use that hammer on in measure 5. To turn your hand, and I'm using the side of my finger rather than the top to get that bar chord, right? Kind of turn my hand to the side. You probably know that, right? But and then play 2, 3, which is that F chord. So we're really kind of going into that shape. So that's what we're doing there. Let's play from 4 through 6. We have, those as chord shapes. Remember, that's the position I'm thinking out of. A little faster. It's okay if that bar chord F is a little crunchy too. You kind of have to turn your hand, and if you don't get that perfectly, it's not the end of the world. And then we're going to go into a C chord here, and we're going to play open 2 on the 3rd string, and then open. And then this is tricky, let me play it and then I'll break it down. We're doing like so we go open 2, open on the 3rd string. And then right here we have to do this pull off with an upstroke with our right hand. And then we go 3rd fret on the 5th string, which is like our C, with an upstroke, and then open 2 on the 4th string. Watch the picking below the tab. So the staple looking symbols are the downstrokes, the V's are the upstrokes. We're going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The thing is that you should do if you want to practice it is try it first with all picking. And then add the hammer-ons back, and then that'll show you how to do the picking. Remember, hammer-ons and pull-offs take the place of a picked note, so you're leaving those picked notes out when you do the hammer-ons, right? So you have... Remember, hammer-ons are optional too, so you could, if you like it with the picking sound, you could do that as well. And then you basically stay in this shape, keep your first finger down. So I'm kind of in that C from the F, the measure before. I basically just keep my first finger down. That kind of helps me anchor that. And again, I'm thinking in that C, it adds a little bit of harmony too. And then right here, I do an open 2 hammer-on the 3rd string. 1st fret, 2nd string. We're kind of going into an A minor there. And then we do... So we have... walking down the notes of an A minor, right? So we're going, the chords, and we'll go over this in the backup, but we have D minor to C, D minor for 2 measures, and then we go F, C, A minor, D minor. Remember, those are relative to our capo, right? So that's what we're doing there. So we have from the F to the end, 6 through 9 is... Here we do open 4th string, 3/5 slide, open. And then we're going to start with an open 3 hammer-on, which is the same as that initial pickup we did, except we're just going to do a hammer-on to mix it up, right? So that ending in measure 9 is pretty easy. We have... Okay, that's the first half of the solo. Let's play that. Here we go.